Cannerts, Victor, there you go, now you know his name, now you know his first name, VC, he's a slow burn, he's a slow, I saw your face, like, oh, can we just turn them around to that face? VC's not going to catch on. Oh yeah, so it's a slow burn for Cannerts, and you'll see it develop, and like, what's great about TV series is that you have time. You don't have to rush into, you have to squeeze in every character and everyone's story in one episode. So we have this whole series to enjoy it and just to develop everyone. And so you'll see that as it goes along, especially for VC. Yeah. You like it. Is one of those people who's stuck inside the cordon, and not only the cordon really, he's focusing in the hospital, he's trying to figure out what's going on. So that what he gets, he makes a lot of contact with Dr. Lommers, who's on the outside world. And he reports to her and tells her what's going on, and Lommers is telling me the stuff in the outside world. We're the sort of, we're connected in terms of that sort of the information. I need her to tell me what's going on in the outside world and any sort of updates, and I'm giving her everything that's going on sort of ground zero, as it were. So that's where I'm getting most of my information from. And hopefully, we keep that line of communication going. It's quite a tenuous thing, really, when you're stuck inside this contained area. I mean, what can happen there in terms of how easy it is to get information in and out. We'll see as the show progresses. It may get harder. You may find other ways. We'll see how that. You can exactly trust when you're stuck inside, and the people on the outside. When there's a divide for anything, I think they do experiments on this, like prisoner guard experiments in psychology. When you have this situation where you put up this artificial wall, you create two different sides, literally, and you become less trusting of that other side. It's like, are they holding back their cards for any reason whatsoever? A rumour starts, maybe they're not telling us all the information, and vice versa. And that goes for either the outside world or inside the cordon. So that element of distrust can develop, and that might be something that develops in the show. As well as relationships forming and everything, things can fall apart when people are divided like that, or even when you're stuck inside with someone you may not like. So there's all these things that you have to think of. You're walking along the isolation wards and everything when there's an increasing number of patients that you're trying to treat, but with a virus this virulent, with this potent, there's not much hope, there's not much time for these people, and when it's someone, of all ages, but when, like the little girl example, as children, it becomes heartbreaking, and there's just scenes, and I know the team have caught these moments, where there's scenes where you're walking, you're seeing these people, and for us it's heartbreaking. We have to deal with this, our characters have to deal with this every day, but for the audience it's going to be very heartbreaking. That's what's upsetting and what's scary about it is it's so real, and it's so potentially real. It has happened. Variants of a virus like this can happen, and we've had it in the past. But to this extent, maybe not, but we're asking the audience this question. What would happen if a virus this potent happens in your backyard, happens in your neighborhood, happens in Atlanta or any city in America, or wherever the audience is? And it asks those questions, and I think that's such a great thing about the show, is that it does ask these sort of questions, and it makes you think about it and what you would do. I would bathe in Purell, but that's neither here nor there. Definitely my primary goal. I'm stuck there with patient zero, ground zero. I'm there right at the source. I'm as close as you can get to the virus, which is about as that's why I have have the suits and the body, the hazmat suits, etc. I have all that. But you will see, again, what's the beauty of a TV series, you will see over the 13 episodes each of our characters' stories come to life, and there's more dimensions will be added as the show goes on. It'll be different stages, you'll see different focuses, the focus shifts, but you will see each of us develop and different sides of us. I'm a lone wolf. I know, everyone, I don't like anyone.
How the VC rolls.
Exactly, that's how VC rolls, exactly. Hashtag. Yeah, so, yeah, he doesn't have the, I may have mentioned this before, but Cannerts doesn't have the best bedside manner. He's stressed out. He's very stressed out, but he's trying not to look super stressed out throughout, because he realizes he's the person who has supposed to have the answers to this, and he's reporting to the outside world. So with all this stress, it doesn't come across as the most appealing personality. And you will definitely see that. So in terms of who he particularly doesn't like, you'll have to, I think the audience can be the best judge of it, because we'll all have our opinions of it. That's what you can watch a show and go, oh, definitely they're not getting on. Maybe that will be something developed, but maybe some audience member will see something there that is actually a seed of something that, oh, they're not going to like each other in the end, or they're going to get on in the end. But again, another thing about throwing people together in this contained area, this cordon area, you might have to get along with people you don't necessarily like. It's like when you're at work, when you're in an office, whatever, but only you can't leave, ever. So you have to get on with some people, and maybe you'll form unlikely sort of friendships, or people you think you get on with, you hate. I've had loads of university people friends when I was really good friends with them, then I lived with them for a while, and you realise they don't wash the dishes for a month, and you hate them. I don't know why that came up, but I'm just saying, an example. You think you like someone until you're thrown inside with someone for a long period of time, and you go, oh, actually, no, I don't really like them at all, because layers are revealed, and that's what you'll see with each character. Yeah, he was originally working at the CDC. Infectious diseases was his speciality, thankfully, and then he gets thrown in. He gets involved in the hospital. He just ends up in the hospital when this is happening, and he's stuck there now trying to investigate it, because he's the most qualified person. I mean, he's the person who makes the controversial call to have the cordon in the first episode, you'll see. So a lot of weight is on his shoulders, his big, broad shoulders for the show.
What's it like to film with rats?
Oh, it's disgusting. No, it's all right actually. I was a bit worried about it for some of some things. When I was filming with rats. I have had to film with rats during the series, and I thought it would be scarier than it was, but no, it's actually not too bad. You have some amazing animal trainers there. You have and they make sure everything's safe, everything's done properly. We're not harming anyone, and most importantly, the rats aren't harming me. So we have to make sure of that. And so it's. I thought I was going to flip out, but I was okay, because I just put a lot of gloves on. I'll be okay. Julie, man, I mean, yeah, she's just incredible. She's got this third show now. She reminds me of Joss Whedon, a lot like Joss Whedon in terms of Joss has 3 shows running at the same time back in the day, and now with Julie, she's got her third show, and it's something different for her as well. Vampire Diaries, the originals. It's all based in a sort of fantasy world, but this is all real. This is all potentially real. Science fact, as I've said before. Not science fiction. It's science fact. And I think she wanted to explore that. She wanted to explore that world, and I'm happy to be there. Yeah, I'm happy to be there and happy to be part of this team, and happy it's in her hands because she knows what she's doing. So it's not like her first show. She's got 3. And she's juggling it. And she's doing it well. His hairstyle, I was initially surprised by how it was all so sweeping, and but I got used to it and struggled with it for a while, but overcame the difficulties. Other than the things he struggled with was Cannerts. Just his demeanour. He is a bit standoffish a lot of the time. His constant stress. And constantly trying to suppress that stress. And I think when you try and press something down too much, things just come out. Like when you say to someone, why are you in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad, gets you even more riled up. And so there's that constant with the character. So I assume when we wrap, I just try and just relax as much as possible, and sometimes keep some of the hazmat suits on, but that's just for personal reasons. It's just a very stressful situation. The show covers, you know, it's a couple of weeks at least. I mean, you see at the start of the first episode, you see a bit of a time jump to when things are a bit crazier, from day 1 to day, you know, from day 15 or so, and all the days in between, a bit after that, you just have this constant pressure. I think when we're all thrown in situations, you just deal with it while it's happening, and then straight afterwards, you just collapse. You just become this wreck, and you suddenly get ill. But not in this show. Hopefully, not in this show. You know, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying what usually happens is that your body supports you as much as it can, as much as you need it to, and then when it's time to relax, it just shuts down. It just knows. I mean, that's what's great about the body, I guess. Yeah, that's what's great about the body. Trying to find a cure for this, trying to find something to do anything with this. This virus is his target, is his obsession. It becomes his obsession. But with the outside things, yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, in the first episode, you see hints of it. You see possible what this chaos that goes on. You see glimpses of this chaos that could happen, that happens, and all these elements like other people generally, and possible violence or threats from inside and outside the cordon. He's exposed to it. He doesn't want to be involved in it, but there may be times that he has to deal with it, and that's a whole other ball he has to juggle and try not to flip out and show, you know, because underneath he just wants to curl up and not be involved in this, but he has to be. So, because I didn't have the time to watch every episode, because we were doing the pilot at this time, and we got a copy of the show, and I thought, okay, I'll watch the first and then the last, because I know in the last I'll probably do previously on, and so I can see a little catch up. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So and see what happens, you know, because I was thinking how closely we're going to follow this show. Turns out we're not following it so closely. There's going to be tangents and everything, but I wanted to see. Firstly, I thought, how long am I going to be all right? You know, how am I going to be all right for season 2 or 7? And but now I know we're not even. You know, we're going off on tangents and exploring different things about it in the American version of the show, and I think as we should. I think just something different, and taking this great show, the original show, and we're basing it on that. But I like how we're exploring different avenues. I can't wait for them to see it, because I want to know what people's opinion. Like I said, it poses that sort of question: what would you do in a situation like this, when a virus this potent can kill you, and your loved ones who are 2 blocks away are in the cordon, and because of your location, your geographical location, you're not. So I want to see the questions, how they're posed, and it's like, oh, God, I wouldn't do that, or, you know, this is, and now I'm not, as soon as I see my girlfriend sneeze again, I'm out of there, whatever, or whatever. So I love that, and we do explore social media as well in the show. I mean, I may talk to some of you about, you know, how the virus spreads, but you also have social media news spreading, you know, things go viral, you know, we use those terms for a reason. And we explore that in the show. We explore rumours in the show and how how lies would escalate as much as the truth. And there's all these little things that we do explore, and then in real life as well we'll see it and see what they think of the show and what they would do in certain situations. What depends? Would I be stuck? Am I stuck inside the cordon, or am I outside the cordon?
Let's say you're outside.
I'm out of there. What? I'll just be. I'm gone. I am. My passport, bags packed. I'm gone. Bye bye. You know, that's it.
What if you're inside?
Yeah. If I'm inside, oh man, I don't know. What would I do? I would hole up in an apartment myself. If I have my computer games, I'm good, or comics, and I'm just there. I can order, you know, go online. There's so many great things, Instacart, all those things. Just try and get that and still running as much as possible. Just mass purchase things, and then I'm holed up. No one's allowed in, and it's just me until I hear it's all clear. Brave. They can just leave it outside. Yeah, they can't.
But what if they cough on your groceries?
Well, ignorance is bliss. So if I don't know about it, I guess I'm all right. Yeah.
Become a doomsday prepper, pretty much.
Yeah. It was what?
So you're gonna become a doomsday prepper.
Maybe, yeah. I think people might. People might, after watching this show, they might think, okay, just in case, let's stack up on stuff. Let's stack up on lots of stuff.
Yeah, almond water and white bread.
I did it in '99. I did it. I was buying canned goods and stuff. Yeah. Obviously, I was hardly born back then. I was just a baby. I was just a little babe in a shop trying to reach for cans. But I did do that. So when something like that, you think of the impending doom. You think, oh, just in case, I'm going to buy some stuff that'll last a while. Long life milk or something like that. I've been learning basic sort of medical techniques like sort of IVs and stuff like that, and tourniquets and stuff like that, and terminology like hemagglutinates and neuraminidase and all this sort of stuff, so I can sound like I know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to be on my own anyway. I'm going to be in a place playing computer games. I'm not going to need to know this. That's it. I'm good. I'm fine. I just need a can opener.
You think they should make a video game out of this TV show?
Yes, and I called Dr. Cannerts' Dilemma, and we can just do like different chapters. What would you do? And I would advise you on it. I would love to be in a computer game. I would love it, and I would buy it absolutely, especially if it's called Dr. Cannerts' Dilemma.